Hello, class. As we prepare for our next speech, I wanted to give some very important pointers to you regarding being an effective public speaker. If you could turn to our week one ways of becoming an effective public speaker, I'm going to go over those key points, very important as we prepare for this term in the semester. Remember, the first speech is not graded, is merely to get you more comfortable with the art of speaking and also uploading your documents accurately. So I'm going to go over briefly the key points in becoming a really good public speaker. Number one is to research a topic. Research it very well, understand what you're talking about so you can be very comfortable with your actual subject matter. For our first speech, it would be very simple because the topic is about you. You cannot get you wrong. You've been you all your life. So that should be pretty easy regarding that. Number two is to focus. Make sure you're in a good place, a quiet place where you can relax yourself, where you can be comfortable and focus on the task at hand. I definitely recommend you using your speaking outline when giving your speech. However, you feel totally comfortable, you're very much free to speak without an outline whatsoever. But for the speech that will be graded, it's important to make sure you have a backup if needed. So you're not required to have the outline, but it's recommended. Those keywords and phrases, so you can look at your key points, you can look back at the camera and give your speech effectively. Number three is organize your ideas logically. Make sure from the speaking outline, things make sense, that it aligns with the point you're trying to make. The outline is that whole goal in terms of speaking logically. Number four, you can definitely feel free to use quotations, facts, statistics as you move forward this semester. It really helps bolster your speech in terms of being a good, strong, effective speaker, not just with your opinion, but with research facts that's already been proven, that's already been tested. You can use metaphors if you like. You can also feel free to tell a story, things of that nature. Number seven, make sure you start strong. A good, strong introduction, it really captures your audience. So come in with a good quote, something special to you to really capture the audience. And also make sure you close strong as well. Don't just fade to black. Start strong, close strong. If need be, you can definitely incorporate humor. Humor is always a really good thing to use, but make sure it's appropriate. Number nine, you can vary in pace and tone. You want to speak conversationally, not like Charlie Brown's teacher being very monotone. Make sure you talk with different pace, different rhythms as you would talk to a friend. That you're much more effective when speaking in that tone. Also, you can use gestures if you like. It really accentuates your point. You may talk about the fish that you caught that was that big, or you drive it down 285, you missed a car by that much, things of that nature. So it really helps the audience cue in to your actual speech itself. Know your audience, know who you're speaking to. We're a pretty homogeneous bunch in that we all are college students, things of that nature. But when speaking outside of this class, understand who you're talking to. Are you speaking to your children's kindergarten class or maybe your grandmother's senior citizens facility? So understand the audience and tailor your message toward that audience itself. Time constraints. For this first speech, again, our introductory speech will not be graded. It's 2 to 4 minutes long. So please monitor that time. For our next three speeches that will be graded, very, very important to make sure you adhere to all the time constraints because if you under the time limit, you will points will be deducted. If you're over, you tend to make more errors the more you talk. So make sure that you're speaking at a good rate and obeying those time constraints. A good strong introduction is important again. Number 18, make sure you exhibit poise and confidence. Sometimes people are super nervous about public speaking, but relax yourself as much as you can. Remember to breathe, go to a comfortable place, and speak. One good thing about this class as opposed to face class is if you totally screw up, you can just hit delete and re-record. You do not have that option when you're in face to face, so that's a good thing to have now being online. If you have any other issues that may come about, handle those smooth as you can, and also make sure you be very coherent in speaking off the cuff. If you're going to speak outside the outline, which is totally fine. You're not obligated to speak word for word in the outline, but definitely make sure that you speak coherently throughout. Those are really key points in terms of being a really good public speaker. Make sure you breathe, make sure you're articulate. You should pronounce and enunciate each and every syllable, each and every word. That helps a lot. Next, I want to go over the second document on the page. That's mastering your delivery. So it's important to understand the deductions associated with this class. Again, this first speech you're delivering for an introductory speech, it will not be for a grade. I will simply give you comments back through email so you can understand what you need to work on, what you did right, and also make sure you understand how to properly download your documents. However, our next three speeches after this one, our informative speech, our persuasive speech, our workplace speech, you will be graded. And those grades are very systematic. And one of the most common errors people make typically is I mean, things of that nature. So work hard to eliminate those by taking your time, not rushing yourself. It's typically a bad habit due to rushing. So each time you make those errors, -2 per occurrence. So watch the you knows, I means. Number two, another error people commonly make are the improper repetition. That's when you say something twice like that. That's not proper. That comes from being nervous as well. So relax yourself and avoid that. Number three, make sure you avoid misspoken words and grammar. Every word you use should be found in the English language, and you also should make sure everything's grammatically correct. For example, you shouldn't say like this are a phone. No, this is a phone. So very important. -2 each time you make that error. Number four, make sure you pronounce each and every word correctly as well. It's very important because your audience can hear those mistakes and you lose credibility as a speaker. Number five, please avoid using slang language, even though it's a part of our culture, but remember you're a college student and also remember you're a professional. So avoid using the word ain't, even though we're in the South, avoid using the word y'all, holler at me, get at me, all that stuff is very inappropriate in a professional setting. So make sure that you take care and avoid using those slang terms. -3 per occurrence. Hesitations. Do not hesitate during a sentence, in the middle of a sentence. It's totally proper to stop at the end of a sentence for dramatic effect. You may say 3 out of 5 kids in inner city Atlanta went to bed hungry last night. That's a really dramatic statement. You can stop to let it wash over your particular audience. However, you should not say 2 out of 5, things of that nature. So try to avoid those hesitations. Number 7 is always speak with poise and confidence because it's very contagious. Be as confident as you can. Make it till you make it if you have to, but definitely make sure that you are very confident. Number 8, very importantly, please use eye contact. It's not proper just to read your total speech. You should look at the camera, have confidence. The eye contact is very important. It's very engaging. Number 9, avoid being too rigid and stiff. Relax yourself, put the shoulders down, breathe. Totally fine. Number 10, do not use the word I'm sorry. If you make a mistake, just go and correct yourself. Like I may say today, Tuesday. I should say I'm sorry, Wednesday. You should say today, Tuesday. Rather Monday. Just relax yourself, say rather, keep going on. Don't apologize. Don't get off of dramatic. Don't overcorrect yourself because that's an error as well. Just don't be dramatic in your correction, I should say. Just correct yourself, keep going nice and smoothly. Try to avoid being monotone. Be relaxed as you can, be conversational as you can. Do not speak too softly. It's -5 for that because you may have some fabulous words to say. However, if we can't hear you, it's all for naught. Make sure we all can hear you. Very important. Try to avoid the nervous voice and nervous movement. Some people have nervous habits. They go to their ears, their hair, things of that nature. I don't have that issue, obviously. But however, be sure that you're very calm and relaxed. Make sure you avoid bad posture and leaning. So make sure you're standing strong, you're up straight, very, very poised. Very important. Avoid any unnecessary giggling. Make sure that you're really strong at point, not being silly, to be honest with you. So make sure you avoid that as well. You should not read directly from your essay. You should speak from your outline itself. Very important to make sure you understand the points you want to make so you will not have to read that total document. And very important, you turn in all type required documents as well. There is no required documents for the first speech. You simply will give your speech from assignment number 3. However, for our next 3 speeches that will be graded, you must turn in a final outline and a final essay. However, again, for this first speech, it's not graded. No type documents are required. You will simply give your speech from assignment number 3. Finally, we want to make sure that you understand that there should be no profanity in giving your speech. It rarely happens, but every now and again, a person may get caught up. Remember, you're professional. You don't want to offend anybody. So it's very, very important to make sure that you avoid any of those issues whatsoever. Thanks a lot. Wish y'all have a great day. Okay.
Oh, it was good, huh? Oh, I tried to be quiet. Oh, okay. Yeah, food was good.